What is hyperpop?
Hey, you little piss baby. You think you're so fucking cool, huh?
Clearly, it's the most metal music genre ever. It is like basically pop music taken to the extreme. It's like distorted as can possibly be, with like heavy emphasis on the beats, and the vocals are often auto-tuned to like a comedic degree. The production is so overproduced, it goes full circle and just sounds like badly produced. And it often incorporates outdated styles of music to add to the absurdity, from disco,
the best bang since the big one,
to ska, to rap metal, to funk, to synth pop. I think the band that best exemplifies hyperpop and takes it to its like totally logical conclusion is 100 gecs. And as I've said before, extremity is what, makes metal like metal. So 100 gecs is metal AF. As for hyperpop artists that aren't quite as extreme as 100 gecs, we have Kim Petras,
everything I drop is a banger every time I hop out the fan.
Charlie XCX, and Grimes. There's also Poppy, who gets pretty metal at times as well. Now, with many music genres, from country music to rap to metal itself, they all have one thing in common: overindulgent masculinity. Whether it's being a rugged cowboy, a gangster thug, or a muscular Tarzan with a bullet belt who sacrifices goats and sodomizes MILFs in cemeteries, there is something about this that I believe is a form of cultural cringe. Our mainstream culture is rather feminine in some respects, so pop culture reacts to this with an overcompensating masculine image to appeal to those who are disenfranchised with the feminine culture. Of course, all of these genres of music are so ubiquitous that it was pretty much inevitable that there would be a counter-reaction to all this excessive masculinity with excessive femininity. That's hyperpop. It like totally has an accelerationist quality to it, doubling down, tripling down on this feminine energy.
It's the feminine energy. Feminine energy. Feminine energy.
The theme of hyperpop is gayness, being really gay. And that is reflective of the artists themselves. There are a lot of trans artists in the hyperpop genre, particularly male to female or trans women. As mentioned, the genre is about hyperfemininity after all. The music is often sexual, not merely over-sexualized, but over-sexualized. A lot of older pop music had a self-awareness with their sexual themes and of its absurdity.
You gonna let it all hang out, fat bottom girl? I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny.
But at some point that was lost, and the over-sexualized nature of music became so normalized that it lost any semblance of humor or shock value. But hyperpop seems to harken back to this. It pushes the sexual themes even further, bringing back a little fun to sex and music. Of course, it's not all about sex. There is some yearning for sincerity within hyperpop, a longing for genuine meaning and connection in a world where people have been commodified and everything's been deconstructed.
I don't want no fake love, want that real shit. Save me from my personal hell.
There is a good amount of criticism of the modern world, as well as a fair bit of humor in hyperpop. There's also a strong Y2K aesthetic to hyperpop. The artists within this genre are typically younger millennials or older zoomers, so it makes sense that their nostalgia for their youth bleeds into the style. A hyperpop star will either look like a trashy celebrity from 2003 or a Belle Delphine-esque e-girl with Hello Kitty accessories.
And my heartbeat skips. I'm obsessed.
And the music videos include things like the VHS rewind static and McBling stuff that every little girl was obsessed with 20 years ago. It's odd because many hyperpop artists get millions of views and are quite famous, yet it feels as if they are LARPing the life of fame rather than living it, and in some cases, just outright mocking fame. Back to the age demographic though. It's nice that Zoomers get a music genre finally. I mean, I said Incelcore was a Zoomer genre, and wow did I ever get hate for that video. Lamau. Go figure that video would be the one that blows up. But unlike Incelcore, hyperpop is much more positive, which is likely why it has been a little more embraced by the mainstream. It's far less doomer and far more bloomer. Perhaps there is an incelcore to hyperpop pipeline. Rather than lamenting the current state of things, hyperpop embraces accelerating it, as well as embracing the absurdity of everything. There is quite an interesting contrast between these two Zoomer genres. It'll be interesting to see how the style evolves and how it influences other artists. I believe that Avenged Sevenfold took influence from hyperpop on their 2023 album, Life is But a Dream. And M. Shadows, their vocalist, has said in an interview that his favorite new band is 100 Gex. So this style has been making waves. And it's fitting, isn't it? The band that released an album called Nightmare back in 2010 has transitioned from nightmare to dream, a much more optimistic outlook. Hyperpop is a fitting genre for the 2020s, leaving behind the depressive attitude of the 2010s and embracing a bit of insanity. We could stay in doomer mode and lament the degeneracy, or we can enjoy the decline like a water slide and make some splashes and a few waves with some girls in bikinis and some boys in bikinis too.
Boys in bikinis too. They look good on you.
Our acculturation totally continues as we explore metal or whatever's overcomplicated genres.